Hello and welcome to Global Armenians. Joining us from Cambodia today is Nicholas Koumjian, who is an international criminal law attorney. Nicholas, welcome to Global Armenians.
Thanks for having me.
You were here just a little while ago in Armenia teaching at the AUA, and we talked to you about your big case, the case against Charles Taylor, and the sentence that he received, which was just, he lost his appeal just last week. Tell us about your case and how it wrapped up.
Yes, we just had the appeal judgment on the trial for Charles Taylor last month's 26th September. And that was the end of a trial that began in January 2008. Taylor was actually arrested in March 2006. So for me, I was involved since 2007. It was the end of 6.5 years of a long process to do the trial and then do the appeal. And we were very satisfied with the result. The appellate court upheld Taylor's convictions for planning and aiding and abetting crimes in Sierra Leone and upheld a 50-year sentence against him, which we think was very significant, particularly for the reasons that the court upheld the aiding and abetting conviction.
There are only a few of you prosecuting internationally suspected criminals or alleged criminals. What did it take for you to be able to successfully prosecute someone in the stature of a former president who was accused of providing rebels with arms, massacres, rapes, and war crimes? What did you have to prove in court?
Well, in all of these leadership cases involving mass crimes, we have several challenges. First, we have to prove that there were massive crimes that occurred. The scale of the crimes is often important to show the intent of the accused and their knowledge of what was going on. So that required bringing victims and having victim testimony brought before the court. And these were the people that really a lot of credit is due to for their bravely coming to the court to testify. We had people who'd had their hands cut off come and testify, those who had witnessed their parents and even those who had witnessed their children killed in front of them. So that was important to establish the crime base. But then we also, the real challenge in these cases is then linking what did this leader do to make them responsible for crimes that happened perhaps in a village that they had never set foot in and never heard of. So it was establishing Taylor's link to the rebels, how he contributed to those crimes, and did so with the knowledge that he was assisting in a massive campaign of atrocities against civilians.
Now, this wasn't your first case. Take us back to the cases involving the Ukraine and Darfur. How many of those have ended, and how many of them continue? Sure.
Well, I began working in the field in the year 2000 when I started working at the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. I was involved in a few cases there, but in particular in a case against the mayor of a town in Bosnia called Prijedor, where there were charges of genocide, exterminations, sexual violence. And in that case, the accused was convicted. He received a sentence of 20 to life on trial. It was the first life sentence at trial. Later on appeal, it was converted to 40 years on appeal. After that, I worked in East Timor. I worked at the state court in Sarajevo on war crimes in Bosnia. And then in Colombia, I headed a human rights program. Then I worked for the Special Court of Sierra Leone for 6 years. But in the last 2 years, I've been working at the International Criminal Court, representing some gentlemen from Darfur, Abdullah Banda and Saleh Gerbo. Saleh Gerbo just passed away. But they were charged with an attack on peacekeepers in Darfur. And right now I'm in Cambodia assisting the prosecution in the extraordinary chambers of the courts of Cambodia, dealing with the Khmer Rouge trial.
Nicholas, I'd have to ask you, being Armenian, did our history, did the genocide play a role in you deciding to pursue cases like this, or you being interested in international law?
Well, I certainly think it is. It has a and had a big influence on me. It's very hard for us to know what it is that forms our makeup or fundamental personalities, but I've always found this field very rewarding. It's addicting. I don't think I'm the only one who feels that way. Once you get into it, it's kind of hard to leave. But certainly, I recognize, I think many of my colleagues recognize, that there is a real need to hold people responsible for these massive crimes that occur. We believe, we hope, and we do believe that it will have some effect in deterring some crimes. It's certainly not going to stop all of them. And it's a slow process of trying to make the world where there's a little accountability for these massive crimes.
You're a walking history book with the first-hand knowledge of all these players who've shaped our history and have misshapen our history. Are you hopefully planning to write a book or two based on your cases?
No, I've never had the discipline to sit down and write it up. Maybe I need a ghostwriter, but yeah, I've had some incredible experiences, and there are, of course, some inside stories that people don't know about how things actually happen. There's always personality issues that don't become public. Yeah.
So, but you continue to share your experiences in the courts with students. I mentioned at the top you were here at the American University of Armenia. Do you do classes like this often?
Well, I have for the last year or so, and I was hoping to get there this semester, but because I was asked to come to Cambodia this month, I came here the 1st of October, right after Taylor. I wasn't able to make it. I don't believe I'll be able to make it this semester. But I hope to continue to be able to go to the American University of Armenia and assist them when I can. I found it very rewarding when I was out there, and I was very impressed by the students and their interest, their dedication, and also the faculty. I thought they were very dedicated.
Thank you very much for sharing your talents and giving us your time today to update us on the Charles Taylor trial. And good luck in Cambodia, Nicholas.
Thank you very much.
And thank you at home for joining us on CivilNet.